What's up? It is time for day 2 of Fat Bear Week. Again, very late also. My brother gave me a ring light for Christmas and I've decided to use it as intended again, as opposed to using it as a lamp on the side. So if you can see the little ring lights in my eyes, that's why. Anyways, this is the matchup for the day. As we see, 806 Junior and let's see if I could do it on the right side. 806 Junior and 901 were the victorious bears yesterday. But we already knew that. Now, for today's matchup, we have Grazer, 128 Grazer versus 151 Walker. Both of these have been very consistently been showing up to the tournaments since 2019, as well as prior, although they started a little bit at different times. Like Grazer's been there since mostly the beginning, but has taken a couple of years off every once in a while. And then Walker first showed up to the scene in 2016 and has been competing every single year since. But 2019 is when they have both started competing and have been there consistently ever since. And so, yeah, let's just start off with the blurb. Also, I want to give a shout out to Bearded Mr. Bean on Tumblr for posting screenshots of these blurbs because I once again missed it. Even though I had all day to do it, I forgot to do it, to take a screenshot. So, oh well. Anyways, so shout out to fucking Tumblr, Bearded Mr. Bean for posting these. Lifesaver over here. Also very good for archiving purposes because archive.org, it doesn't show it for whatever reason. I don't know. Anyways, it's a rematch of the rotund rivals. Their contentious competition continued long after 151 Walker's bitter defeat by 128 Grazer in their 2022 Fat Bear Week matchup. The conflict even continued on the river for a coveted fishing spot. Will 151's titanic tummy overshadow Grazer's glow-up? Or will girl boss Grazer gatekeep Walker's win? Beautiful. It's poetry. Whoever writes these is a wizard of wordplay. But anyways, so as they said, they competed in 2022 and Grazer defeated Walker, but what the blurb does not mention is that they also competed in 2019 and Grazer also defeated Walker back in 2019, again in his first round. So the question is as they ask, will she girl boss gatekeep Walker from winning? So let's take a look. So this was taken on July 8th and this was taken on September 14th. It's important, I think, to note the time difference because if you take it really late in the summer and then early in the fall and they have like a really big weight gain or late or whatever, like I think timing does matter to a certain degree. Because if someone had all summer to pack on the pounds and didn't do a lot, but then someone else had a really short amount of time and did the same or even more, then it's like, who worked harder? Anyways, so I gotta say I love her little ears. They're so cute. I'm having way too much fun now that I have this marker. But anyways, so we can see the size of the thigh. I will say I will complain about the water shot. Like this cuts out everything. So we can really only judge from like here up, really. So that's what we're gonna do. But looking, and because I'm at different angles, it's a little harder to tell, but you can see here, it's a little flatter. This is a little bit more rotund. Again, the angle is a little odd, so it's a bit hard to tell. But here, the girth of the neck and the size of the shoulders here seems to be, like, have made a big, big difference over here. Over the what's it called? Over the summer. I think that she made a lot of progress. All right, now we have to look at Walker. He's a very soggy, wet beast in this first picture. Look at this. At least between the two, they both have water shots, so at least it's a little bit more equal. But again, like the height of the water, you can't really tell. Like they're both kind of knee height, I guess. But like Walker's coming out of hibernation. Oh no, this is July. Never mind. He's had a while. He's had some time to adapt. And this was September 22nd. Yeah, pretty close. So He does have a little bit of time compared to, so we don't actually know what he looked like in the spring. I guess they couldn't find him. Maybe he was being sneaky, I don't know. But the progress between the two pictures is not super crazy. Grazer definitely made more progress. So it's a little harder to tell. And I will say though that Walker's beautiful behind, he was so round that one year. It was the most beautiful picture ever taken of his ass. It was so rotund, and like he was giving Robot from Mom energy, or was it the aunt? I don't know. The aunt or mom from Robot, the one with the literal dump truck ass. Like that's what he was doing one year, and every year I think he tries to recapture that glory. He did not recapture it here, but you can see the curvature of the ass is not as circular as it could be. Sorry, I'm having too much fun with the little thingy. But his belly hangs real low. So it's honestly hard to tell. These two are pretty close. I don't know. Like he's been bigger, and I find that Grazer did make a little bit more improvement. Now, who is the objectively heavier bear? You can see there's a lot of fat rolls here. Like in this area, like this is a chunky thigh. But I don't get that vibe from Walker. Like, look at this. Look at the lack of cellulite here. Ridiculous. Walker should have tried harder. No, I'm kidding. I love Walker. He's a beautiful boy. But I do think that Grazer is the bigger bear ultimately here. Like she just has more chunk to her. Like look, like she has literal fat rolls here. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Grazer. Vanquished last year by the volume of Holly's rolls, 164 is back for another #Fat Bear Week. This year, his competitor 284 Electra makes her Fat Bear Week debut. Can this boldly bodacious babe bounce 164 out of the bracket? Or will 164, the cheeky charmer, carve out a victory like he carves out success at the falls? Now, I can tell you right away that this is actually incorrect. Katmay, get your shit together. I'm just kidding, you guys are busy. But I went through the archives and I saw that actually, this is not 284 Electra's first rodeo. She actually competed way back in 2014, and she got to round 2 and then she was eliminated, but she did compete in that very first Fat Bear Week. Although it wasn't Fat Bear Week at the time, it was just Fat Bear Tuesday, I guess. It was like a one-day competition where, yeah, like, by the way, Fat Bear Week started in 2014 as a one-day event where, like, every couple of hours or whatever, they would basically have, you know, the next round, as opposed to now it's spread out over days. But it was just like it was a one-day thing. And so she competed that year. She lasted until the second round, and then she just didn't compete again until this year. So it is her debut to Fat Bear Week, technically, but 2014 she was on the scene and she did compete. So I don't consider this really her debut to Fat Bear Week necessarily, just because she has been there since the beginning. So she is a veteran at this stage, except she does not have the history of Fat Bear Week. I don't know if she's ready for the week-long competition. I mean, it was a one-day thing back in her day, so I don't know if she's ready against 164. So 164, Blurb said it, this is his second, but his name is 164 Bucky Dent, by the way, is his full name. And he, yeah, he competed last year. Both of these bears, interestingly enough, have made it to round 2 in their respective years. So let's see who's going to make it to round 2 again, and maybe one of them will continue further. We'll find out. Again, I'm not a fan of these water shots, but this is from July 8th. This is September 24th. Not honestly, basically no improvement whatsoever. That's really unfortunate. I'm actually, this could have been her big year, your big comeback, you know, goes silent for years and years and then makes a giant comeback 9 years later. Nah, this was unfortunately, very little training went into it. Maybe she needs a personal trainer, I don't know. Alright, now we're going to look at 164 Bucky. And I gotta say, this is an even worse picture. Oh god, this is a really bad picture. Why would they do this to me? Cat May, you're making it so hard to do analysis. But I am a expert. I am a bear expert in obesity. Bear obesity. And so I can tell, despite the horrible picture, I have a great sense of who's a big bear. And yeah, Electra did not do a ton, and Bucky did, in my opinion. It's not just the angle. I mean, you can see quite flat. He does not have a lot of girth. Whereas here, he's quite round. Again, they're very similar in terms of sizing, but these aren't ribs here. Like this isn't rib territory yet. Like, we've definitely seen bears in the past that have come out and just, like, in the spring been just ribs. We have seen that from competitors before, but like this is already mid-July, and you know, this is such a weird angle. But this is nice and round. This is nice and round. Bucky's looking good. So honestly, I'm gonna have to give this one to Bucky. I do think that it's, you know, it would have been really cool if Electra had, you know, gone ahead, powered on ahead, and, you know, made an epic comeback. But I don't know if the public's gonna be on my side with this, but I do think that Bucky is just the bigger bear. Like, he just is more rotund. It's, again, very hard to tell, but he looks quite, like, just looks flat in the first picture. He looks like a piece of paper. In terms of what Tumblr voted for, 128 Grazer, vast majority. I think that was the right call. She just is overall bigger. She put in clearly a lot of effort this year. Whereas 164 Bucky won, but not by a large margin. That's because the final photo, they look very similar, but I think that Bucky put in a little bit more effort, and so for that reason I would have awarded Bucky the win. And looking at the Fat Bear Week results, 128 Grazer, massive majority so far, the bear with the most votes overall, interestingly enough. And then Bucky Dent at 85,000. So people are clearly big fans of Grazer. She is a girl boss. She is gatekeeping. She's actually a very aggressive bear. Fun fact about Grazer. Apparently she's a very aggressive, like, mama bear. You know the term mama bear? Yeah, it's because of bears like Grazer. That's where that term comes from. She is very, very aggressive in defending her cubs. Like, she will square up against anything and anyone that threatens the safety of her cubs or herself. Like, she's a mama bear, let's put it that way. So anyways, congratulations to 128 Grazer and to Bucky Dent. We will see you in a couple of days. And to 151 Walker and to 284 Electra, thank you for coming out, and I hope you have a lovely hibernation. So that is day 2 of Fat Bear Week 2023. Peace.